one of the critical parts of the Rinder Ortega Remini rollout of Remini was the quote-unquote missing Shelley Miscavige, the wife of David Miscavige. And, at the time in 2013, I think it was, Rinder told me about that she was going to do a whole thing about where's Shelley and going to put the church in just an unbelievably terrible position because he figured it all out because he's been in public relations his entire life, and he figured it all out. There was going to be this untenable position where nobody could respond to it because it's so personal and it's so the accusation is so one of those things that it's like a "do you beat your wife" conundrum, right? The way they're framing the accusation, that they can just go to town and make it into a series, a serial that just keeps playing out, right? And I said, Mike, why would Leah do something like this? If she's has any concern about her own credibility and integrity. You know she's not missing. You know that Leah Remini truly doesn't have the rank to ask to know exactly where she is, when, and how she does her business. That just as much as she feels like, that she needs the ability to be wherever she wants and associate with who she wants, Shelley has the exact same right. And you know that the last person in the world she'd want to see is Leah Remini or Mike Rinder. And Mike goes, yeah, I know all that, but it's like his perfect thing because it puts him in a position. It's the wife of the head of Scientology. It puts him in this untenable position. He knew. He knew it was a scam from the beginning. He knew it was a cheap shot from the beginning. I was certain that Rinder conned her on the Shelley story being a story of manufacture, and then when I called her out on it, she said, oh yeah, I already knew that. I was running a false black PR campaign the entire time. I said, Mike Rinder knows this is a scam and a sham. And I could have, if you'd asked me about it and asked my opinion, you wouldn't have got into this in the first place. She goes, I know that. I knew she wasn't missing. In other words, she told me she's in complete and utter legal agreement with Mike Rinder. I thought at that point I was giving her the benefit of the doubt. Maybe she's just being taken advantage of because Mike, he'll do anything. He'll say, that's what he's famous for. He's the most agreeable guy on the planet. And people, find that reassuring to have them around him. So he's making good, regular bucks, by playing that role for her. But no, she knew that. And that was cool with her. In other words, she knew it was a scam from the beginning. The amazing thing is, here we are. Okay, that was 2014, 15, 16. We're 3 years later and they're still running it. Every several months or so, they roll the thing out again. They'll come up with an event, a PR event. She'll file an FOI request with the police, right? And Ortega will run this big thing and he'll try to get it out to the tabloids. She's complaining because, the police aren't investigating the Shelley thing, right? They get their documents, the responses. No further story, right? Because there's nothing there. But they don't inform the troll farm. So all these people are living in this alternate reality that they believe this worldview that they're being fed by Remini, Rinder, and Ortega, who are laughing all the way to the bank.